You've been sold a lie. A lie that sounds so noble, so virtuous, that you'd never even think to question it. You've built your entire life around it. You wear your exhaustion like a badge of honor. You brag about your 80-hour weeks. You believe that if you just work harder than anyone else, success is guaranteed. But what if that very belief is the very thing that's holding you back? What if the grind isn't a sign of strength, but a symptom of a deeper problem? Stick around, because today we're exposing the hard work lie that's quietly killing your potential. Think about it. From the time we were kids, we were taught this simple formula. Hard work equals success. It's drilled into us. The early bird gets the worm. No pain, no gain. And on the surface, it sounds right. It feels right. It's a comforting story. It means that your destiny is in your hands. Just work hard, and you'll be rewarded. But here's the uncomfortable truth that no one tells you. We live in a world that celebrates being busy, but rarely questions if we're being effective. We see people running in a frantic, exhausting race, and we assume they're winning. But what if they're just on a treadmill, running faster and faster, sweating, straining, but going absolutely nowhere? This is the lie that effort is the same as progress. That motion is the same as direction. And if you don't see the difference, you are doomed to a life of burnout, frustration, and wondering why everyone else seems to be moving ahead while you're just tired. The first part of the lie is what I call the burnout deception. This is the belief that if you're not constantly on the verge of exhaustion, you're not working hard enough. You feel guilty for taking a break. You think rest is for the weak. So you push, and you push. You answer emails at midnight. You work through weekends. You're always on. But here's the psychological truth your body already knows. Burnout doesn't make you stronger, it makes you brittle. Think about a muscle. What happens when you go to the gym and you lift weights for 6 hours straight, without any rest? You don't get stronger. You tear the muscle down so badly it can't recover. You get weaker. You become injured. Your hard work has literally worked against you. Let's get scientific for a moment. Your brain has two primary modes, the focused mode and the diffuse mode. The focused mode is when your head's down, grinding on a task. The diffuse mode is when you're relaxed, daydreaming, in the shower, on a walk. Here's the secret that high performers know. Your best ideas, your moments of genius, your solutions to complex problems. They don't happen in focused mode. They happen in diffuse mode. When you are in a state of constant, chronic hustle, you are living exclusively in focused mode. You are never allowing your brain to switch into the state where it can actually connect the dots and come up with the breakthroughs you need. You're treating your brain like a simple machine that just needs more fuel and more hours of operation. But it's not a machine. It's a complex, organic system that requires a rhythm of exertion and rest. By denying it rest, you are not optimizing it. You are operating it at a fraction of its true capacity. You are choosing to run a Ferrari in first gear and then wondering why you're losing the race. Now let's talk about the second, and more dangerous, part of the lie. The direction dilemma. This is the belief that working hard is what matters most. But hard work in the wrong direction is just wasted life. Imagine someone trying to get from New York to Los Angeles. But they never look at a map. They just get in their car and start driving. They drive for 18 hours a day. They are disciplined. They are determined. They are working incredibly hard. But they're driving north, towards Canada. Are they going to reach LA? Of course not. All their hard work, all their effort, is completely useless because they're pointed in the wrong direction. Let's take the car analogy further. You can have the most powerful engine in the world, but if you're pointed at a brick wall, all you're going to do is create a more spectacular crash. Now, imagine instead of a car, you're a ship. Hard work is the engine, but strategy and direction are the rudder and the navigational charts. What does a good captain do before a long voyage? He doesn't just start the engines and scream, "Full speed ahead." He studies the maps. He checks the weather. He plots the most efficient course. He identifies the potential storms and the shallow waters. This is the work that happens before the hard work. This is the strategic thinking. This is what creates leverage. Leverage is the art of achieving a massive output with a minimal input. It's finding the one client that pays 10 times more than the others. It's building a system that makes money while you sleep. It's writing one piece of content that reaches millions instead of 100 that reach dozens. Hard work without leverage is just pushing a boulder uphill. Hard work with leverage is finding the pulley system that lets you move the boulder with your pinky finger. Your primary job is not to work harder, it is to find better leverage. The final part of this lie is the most subtle one. The action illusion. This is when you confuse being busy with being productive. You make a long to-do list full of easy, low-impact tasks. You check them off one by one. You feel a sense of accomplishment. You were so busy all day. But at the end of it, what did you actually achieve? Did you move the needle? Or did you just move papers around your desk? We do this because action feels safe. It feels like we're in control. Tackling the big, scary, important task that would actually change your life? That's difficult. That's intimidating. So instead, we hide in a flurry of small, meaningless activities. We tell ourselves, look how hard I'm working. But it's an illusion. It's a performance you're putting on for yourself to avoid the real, difficult work that actually matters. True productivity isn't about how many tasks you complete. It's about the impact of the tasks you choose to do. Doing one thing that brings in 80% of your results is better than doing 50 things that bring in 20%. Stop using busywork as a shield from the work that truly counts. This isn't just about productivity hacks or time management. This is a psychological trap. It's a cultural brainwashing that has infected our sense of self-worth. We've been taught to measure our value by our output, by our busyness. So when we feel unworthy, when we feel insecure, what do? We work harder. We bury those feelings under a mountain of tasks. We use hard work as a drug to numb the fear that we might not be good enough, that we might not be on the right path. The hard work lie becomes a comfort zone. It's easier to stay busy than it is to sit in silence and ask the terrifying questions. Am I on the right path? Is this what I truly want? What if I fail when it actually matters? The grind is a cage, but it's a comfortable cage because it's familiar. Breaking free requires more courage than just working another 12-hour day. It requires you to stop, to think, to feel, and to be honest with yourself in a way that might be painful. So what's the alternative? It's a shift from hard work to hard work. Hard work is external. It's about hours and effort. Hard work is internal. It's about alignment and meaning. It's about doing work that energizes you, that you're curious about, that feels like a calling, not a chore. When you are engaged in hard work, something magical happens. You enter a state of flow. Time disappears. You aren't fighting yourself. The work doesn't feel like work. It feels like expression, and in this state, you can produce results that are 10 times better than what you could ever produce through grim, forced effort. You become more creative, more resilient, and more attractive to opportunity. People are drawn to those who are passionate and aligned. Opportunities flow to those who are in their element. Stop asking, how hard should I work? Start asking, what work makes me feel alive? What problem am I obsessed with solving? Follow that thread. That is your true path to success. The old model is broken. Hard work alone is a dead-end strategy. It leads to a dead battery, a broken spirit, and a life of wondering, what if? The new model, the model that actually works, is a 3-part formula. First, strategic rest. You must recharge with the same intensity you use to work. Sleep, walks, hobbies, this is not wasted time, it is performance-enhancing time. Second, clarity of direction. You must know your destination. You must constantly check your map. A small amount of force applied in the right direction is infinitely more powerful than a massive force applied randomly. And third, courageous action. You must have the guts to ignore the trivial many and focus on the essential one. You must do the thing that scares you, the thing that actually matters, every single day. This is how you build a life of impact and fulfillment. Not by being the most tired person in the room, but by being the most clear, the most rested, and the most strategic. This is just the beginning. The real work starts now, in your own mind. I have a challenge for you. For the next 48 hours, I want you to ban the word busy from your vocabulary. Every time you're about to say it, I want you to replace it with a more honest word. I'm not busy, I'm focused. Or, I'm not busy, I'm prioritizing. Or, I'm not busy, I'm actually a bit lost and need to find my direction. This simple language shift will force a massive awareness shift. Share this video with one person you know who is stuck on the hamster wheel. They might not even realize they're in a cage. Let's start a conversation that changes how we work and live. Drop a comment and tell me what your hard work would be. That one thing you'd do even if you weren't paid for it. Let's inspire each other. Smash that like button if you're ready to break the cycle, and subscribe for more truths you won't hear anywhere else. The grind is over. The new era begins now.